What's up, guys? Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of Julio Jones's most explosive route running, okay? So we're going to be looking at two specific clips here that he runs. We're going to be looking at a blaze out route and then just a regular 10-yard, 10 to 12 speed out where he snaps down violently. So I hope this video helps you guys out, gives you some value, but also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to improve in the gym and on the field, and you want a specific workout schedule with over 500+ wide receiver workouts you can do with sets and reps, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. It's an 8-week combo workout plan with gym exercises combined with on-field drills to help your route running, releases, and the works. Everything is broken down with sets and reps and rest periods, rest days, and we give a video example of each on-field drill. So check out that very first link in the description below if you want our ultimate 8-week workout plan. Let's get started with this video. So first route is going to be a post-out route. So Julio Jones does a great job of selling the post, obviously, but some people call this a blaze out or a post out. So this looks similar to like a post corner, right? Now, the only difference between these two is that a post corner, you cut off of 1 foot from the post to get back to the corner. A blaze out, a blazing the out is when you take 3 steps right here, right? So you break to the post, 1, 2, 3, and you break off. So you take 3 steps. So on this route, the reason why this is so elite from Julio Jones and why it's so impressive that a guy his size can do this is of how well he's able to get some speed to the post and gain ground for 3 steps. So what a lot of wide receivers will do is that they'll do any kind of double move. They'll break off the first step, and then their 3 steps on this 45-degree angle are very choppy steps. And when you have choppy steps selling a double move, that is an indicator to this DB that you are not actually running the route. It goes the same thing on like a sluggo, a slant and go, maybe the same thing on like an out and up. Guys love to shortchange themselves and slow down on that first part of the break. So anytime that I'm running a post out, post corner, corner post, whatever it is, you got to make sure that we are cutting and we are bursting off of this cut to take a full 3 steps down this lane. Now, those full 3 steps, when you're in full stride and you have full speed, that puts the DB on alert. That's going to make him try to recover on this thing. But whether it's off man or whether it's zone coverage or when that DB's trying to play man coverage on you mainly, where are his eyes supposed to be? His eyes are supposed to be on your hips, right? So Julio Jones, again, he doesn't even necessarily sell with his eyes until the last possible second. He gives a little bit of a glance back, but I don't feel the eyes are the most important thing on a double move because you could be looking back for the ball, but your shoulders and your hips could be drifting upfield, and that's going to make that DB sit on that thing because you're no longer selling the route. I've seen plenty of guys, they'll break, they chop their feet, they're drifting upfield, oh, but they look back to the quarterback with their eyes. That's not enough to sell the route. You have to make sure that we have speed down the break point. I'm in full stride, but my hips, my shoulders, and my eyes, everything is committed on that 45-degree angle in this specific case. Same thing if it were an out and up. On that out portion, everything has to be committed because that's what puts that DB on alert, and that's what makes him drive on this thing. Now, when you're running full speed like this, how do you change direction? You have to be violent, right? So this is where it gets very difficult for a guy of Julio Jones' size because a lot of guys can't snap down like this when they are very tall. But when he snaps into this break, you see how violent he is. That's how you guys change direction. A lot of wide receivers are taught to, beat the drum, chop their feet, move their hands as fast as they can. All that does is waste time. At the top of the break, our goal is to create energy and use that energy to explode out of the break. So when you have a lot of speed into a route, if you're not dropping violently because you have so much speed, you're not going to make a tight change of direction. This is the only way I can make a tight change of direction. So you see when he gets to that 3rd step of the post out, 1, 2, 3, he's snapping down. You see how it's a drop of his hips. He's actually bringing his pad level down, getting to a low explosive position. This allows him to make a tight change of direction. Almost pretend like there's a cone right here and he has to make a tight loop around the cone, tight circle around the cone. You have to lower your pad level. So if you're a taller wide receiver, anytime that you're running routes like you're running a comeback, you're running a curl, you're running a dig, at that break point, we have to get to this spot. Try to bring your chin to your knee and make sure we are dropping my butt down. So now he's in a low explosive spot where he could drive out of this thing, and you see his 2nd step of the blaze out. This is what gets him out of the break clean. You have to snap, pivot, and then drive off the 3rd step, right? Snap, pivot, drive, because that pivot step gets your hip turned. That 3rd step allows you to push and break off. Same thing if he was running like a comeback route. Let's say he was running like a comeback here. You would snap on the inside leg, pivot with your left leg, and then hook the inside leg around again and drive off of that. Obviously, you're going to probably take extra steps if it's a comeback route, but those are the first 3 steps that you want to try to take, and that is very, very difficult for a tall guy to do, and that's why Julio Jones is one of the best, when healthy, one of the best route runners in the game. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job breaking, snapping this thing right off, and then being able to accelerate out of the route. So now, one more route that I want to talk about is this out route versus outside shade coverage, okay? So like outside shaded, maybe a little bit more so like I would say head up coverage. But when we have to run a 10-yard out or maybe a 15-yard out and you're facing this type of coverage, the main thing a lot of wide receivers do is they try to just attack the leverage of the DB. So he's outside shade. What they'll do is they'll go attack him. The only problem with that is a DB is taught when he's in outside shade to protect the outside, to keep his leverage. He's not trying to let anybody run outside of him and run pretty much around him and go deep. So if you were to just attack his leverage, that DB would widen, you'd break off on the out, and you wouldn't have that much space for the quarterback to lead you. So we want to attack his inside shoulder, try to flip his hips so I could slip back underneath and get space on the out. So let's play this thing full speed. So Julio Jones does a great job of running full speed into the break, getting the DB to flip his hips, and then is able to break this thing right off. That is such an explosive break point, and you got to understand how difficult that is. So when you're running routes, so many wide receivers don't understand this principle. They think that it's about slowing down and then making their break. But you guys got to understand that the break point is what slows you down. So when he's going up into this route to get this DB to bail out of there, I need to do something called selling vertical, right? If you're familiar with this page, everybody should know what selling fade is, selling vertical, all of that stuff. That means you need to be in full stride. That means you need to be running hard full speed. That means you need to be pumping your arms aggressively. Everything about this needs to look like you were just trying to run past this guy. And now same thing as the post out, same thing as the blaze out. When I have a lot of speed into a break point, what do I need to do to get out of the break? I need to be violent with the break point. So we get that DB to flip, and then what does he do? Violent change of direction. There's that hip drop, trying to bring the chin to his knee. He is snapping his weight down. He's not shattering his feet, beating the drum, giving this DB all the time in the world to recover. He is snapping down, getting low. And look at the steps that he takes. He snaps. What does the second step do? Pivots. What does the third step do? Hook. A little bit of a stumble there, maybe a little bit off balance, but him being able to snap down violently while selling full speed creates explosion. And that explosion at the break point allows him to accelerate out of the route and widen the distance with that DB. That is a textbook example of how to run a deep out route against that outside shade coverage. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. He angles his stem outside at first, then goes to the inside shoulder, flips his hips, and is violent with that drop to get him out of that route fast and efficiently. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. You guys help keep the channel going, so we really appreciate it. And again, fellas, if you'd like an 8-week gym and field wide receiver workout plan, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.